Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel where I know you and you know me, and if you don't know me, come and get to know me. Today we are doing an updated face routine. I haven't done like a full in-depth like what I do for my base, what I use on YouTube since I don't think ever. So today we are doing that. We're gonna chat, get into other things. Let's go. I just gotta tell everybody, I don't wanna keep it on the low. Goddamn, I love you. I love you. Goddamn, I love you. I love you. Now my face was already prepped and primed, and I did my eyebrows off camera because I already made a video about that, which is up on my TikTok and my Instagram, which if you don't follow, you should go and do that. As far as this video goes, I'm gonna just be chatting while I tell y'all what I use for my makeup and how I do my everyday base routine. Nothing special, I guess. Yeah, this is me attempting to talk y'all's head off. Emphasis on attempt, because there are two type of people in this world: talkers and listeners, and I am definitely a listener. I listen to you talk all day, but as far as talking your head off, I don't have nothing to talk about. I be chilling, you know what I'm saying? So like, I just always feel like I don't have nothing good to talk about unless you bring up a topic and I could rally, we could volley, that's the word, we could volley back and forth about the topic. But enough of me yapping, let's get into it. So this is how I apply my foundation to my face. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna talk to y'all about who I am, I guess. My name is Najee. It's hard to say, but all my friends call me Cookie. I've always had like food nicknames growing up my whole life. Like my nicknames for my brother's side of the family, they call me Sandwich. They know me as Sandwich. I am a 25, about to be 26-year-old teenager. No, like 25, about to be 26, which is a crazy number. Also, if you is still using concealer to do the top of your brows when you carving them out, if you even still carve them out, because I know people don't do that no more, you shouldn't be doing it. And if you don't know already, I stay out of South Carolina. Period. 843 stand up. I want y'all to take this video and you can use it or whatever, interpret it to how you do your makeup. You don't have to follow this exact to the T routine, you know what I'm saying? Definitely don't be using no giant brush if this is your like first time doing stuff like this on your face. You want to use something small when you're doing your eyebrows. So like I use this underneath my eyes, like underneath where I put this. But you can also use this for the top too. It's just faster for me to use a big one like this so I can cover my forehead with foundation. After I paint on my foundation, literally, I take some E.L.F Stay All Night Microfine. Can you see that? Yeah. You see it's almost gone. I need to re-up. But this is what I take, and I spray my face, I drown myself, and then I blend out my foundation. What do I do? My profession is technically an esthetician. Like, that's what I have my certificate, degree, whatever you want to call it in. And, I love what I do. I've been saying that for the longest time now. I absolutely love being an esthetician. I love being a makeup artist. I love doing this. This is like number one on my list of things that I wanted to do growing up. Well, I ain't gonna say number one, because number one was actually I wanted to be a plastic surgeon or ER nurse, because I also like, blood, guts, glory, the whole medical field aspect of it. I've always been interested in. But yeah, I went to college to be a doctor. I was in pre-med in college for a semester. Ran into some financial issues, so I didn't go back. But, I always knew that I wanted to do makeup. I love my job. I love, helping people figure out what's wrong with their skin, what they like, what they need help with, you know, things of that nature. I enjoy doing stuff like that. But outside of work, I like to do YouTube, obviously. Well, I try to be a content creator, but I be discouraging myself a lot, which I have to stop doing. I like content creating. I like to do role play games, cozy games. You know, I play The Sims. If you know, you know. I play Sims. That's my jam. But when I'm not doing that, I like to participate in trends and stuff on TikTok. After you done slapped on and blended out your foundation, make sure you get your ears, if you are a lighter or darker shade like me, in your foundation. Make sure you get your ears when you blend down your neck, because you don't want to look crazy. It might look a little crazy right now on me, but once I put on the concealer and all the bronzing and all of that, it'll balance out and it'll look, you know. Now I do want to say, don't expect this to be no baby natural beat, because that's not how I do my makeup on an everyday. Like, I be trying, but the diva, the drag queen, the full coverage demon inside of me, I need that extra little oomph, that little I be needing that. So don't expect this to be a little natural everyday whatever. It is, but it ain't, if that makes sense. You'll see when we get deeper into it. At this point, I do my blush. I use 2 from E.L.F Stay Putty Blush. I love this blush. It goes good over and under powder. It eats down. I use the shade Turks and Caicos, and I use Caribbean to create a gradient. I'll show you in a second. What I'm trying to do with this channel, like I said, I want to be a content creator, but I also don't want to end up like an influencer, and I don't even know if that's like possible, because I feel like once you like get into content creating and people start following you, then you become an influencer, or is that something different? Let me know. Yeah, with this channel, I'm really just trying to like put myself out there. Make sure you watch the placement of this brush. But I'm really just trying to put myself out there and generate an audience, and maybe grab some clients in the process of doing this. But mostly because I like making and editing videos. Also, if you know me, like, music is like a big part of like who I am and like my everyday. You know, like a lot of my first videos just like words and like my playlist, because I feel like I have superior music taste. So, you know, everybody think they have superior music taste, but yeah, my playlist do be live, and I really like editing, putting together videos and doing stuff like that. Like I want to like create, like make my own music video one day, just like try it one time, like get a bunch of people, pick a song, you know, and just create, like, I don't want to call it a parody, because it's not, it'll be funny, but like I want to like actually direct and edit my own music video to a song that I like, if that makes sense. Even though I feel like that'll be like, they'll probably copyright me or something, which, you know, whatever, which is also why I haven't done it. But I feel like I'll probably get like copyrighted and maybe like, but yeah, that's something I want to do. That's stuff I like to do. And I got off track. My whole reason for, you know, or what I'm trying to do with my channel is I'm trying to put myself out there. I'm trying to bring awareness to Black women and the fact that we have more options in the makeup world now, especially to like women and people who don't really know too much about makeup, and you know, they like it or want to get into it and stuff like that. And also skincare, because like I said, I'm really big into like making sure people know how to care for their skin and stuff like that, because I feel like we as a community We as a community have a lot of skin problems, and nowadays there are more people who are like receptive to that fact and are trying to actively like help people and fix it. And I just want to be one of those people. I love doing corrective skincare, preventative skincare, things like that. So yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to give y'all the real about what to get or grab when you're in the makeup store as a Black woman, as a woman of color, no matter what that color may be. Now I'm taking Caribbean and going in between and up here. That makes sense to me. Y'all can see what I'm saying. Also, another thing with blush placement is more or less dependent on you and your face shape and how you want, your face to be like shaped and look. So like, since I have more of a square face kind of, and I have rounder cheeks, I like to make my blush like snatch my face up, if that makes sense. Like my face just like that. So if you would like a fuller cheek or a rounder face, you would put your blush like in this area. Or if you want to be cute and put it all the way across, that little anime thing people be doing. I used to do that real bad. Blush placement is what you want your face to look like, how your face is shaped. You can play around with it, of course. It's makeup. But I'm just saying, like, if you're looking for something specific, there you go. Also, if you're not making ugly faces when you're doing your makeup, are you actually doing your makeup? Like, how are you supposed to know or like manipulate the makeup onto your face without making the ugliest face as possible? You know what I'm saying? That's scary. You have to be the ugliest thing ever to put on mascara. I ain't even gonna do it. That's embarrassing. But if you know. Halloween is coming up, and if you know me, you know Halloween is one of my favorite times of year because I get to do crazy stuff to my face that I wouldn't do any other time of the year. I bought an Athena palette, so I'm excited to use that. I'm actually going to probably start using it like in the next week or so, because there's this trend on TikTok now where you're supposed to be finding your unnatural natural skin tone color. Did I say that right? Your unnatural natural skin tone color. And they're using, pinks and greens and purples, all of that, and like making looks and doing complexion with it. And I want to do that so bad. I've been wanting to do that so bad for so long. But now we're gonna move on to concealer, and I use the E.L.F Hydrating Camo Concealer. Oh, hold on. I use Hydrating in the shade Deep Cinnamon for the first layer. People say you need more than 3 dots to cover up anything, but this giant doe foot has so much product on it. If I do anything more than a couple dots, then I have to blend my concealer all the way down to my chin, and I don't got time for that. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 dots if I'm feeling a little frisky on each side. And again, concealer placement is something that is dependent on how you want your face to be shaped and how it is shaped. Again, you can play with it. People play with it all the time. It's makeup. You're supposed to. But just letting you know. Also, you don't have to follow this to T. This is how I do mine. Put one right here. One right here. One right here. You see that? And then we're going to dip again one time. A lot of product. You see that? And then we'll put another one. We all know this Camo concealer dry fast as hell. We only doing under our eyes first so that they don't dry out and it don't move and all that. This, I use one of these. I don't like using beauty blenders. They don't give me enough coverage, and these do. These give me what I need. So I take my brush and I spray it, right? And then we blend. You start from the bottom. Start from the bottom and make your way down so that it's not such a harsh transition, if that makes sense. I want y'all to see what I'm doing. Oh my God. You see this line? Just want you to pull it out. It's not too harsh. Y'all see that? Eating. Now, we keep blending until everything is nice and uniform. So you get this line right here into your eye, because essentially the same concealer color you want it to blend. You see what I'm doing my nose with the concealer? This is going to help you later. So make sure you get it as straight as you possibly can. Now we move on to the other parts of the face that you highlight. You will not stop here. You will look insane. Unless you're going for a specific kind of look, but yep, one dot there, one dot there, and 2, 3, 4 dots there. This part of the concealer ring to be a shade, you know, closer to your skin color. I've been in this bright under eye stage for a minute now, and yeah, so that's what I'm doing. But yeah, you want this to be 1 or 2 shades lighter than your foundation color. I am thinking of doing like a whole series about you know, the unnatural skin tone color, but instead of, you know, just leaving it at that and having, you know, 20 videos of that on my damn page, I want to add prosthetics into the mix, latex prosthetics and stuff like that. Also, you want to take whatever excess from the concealer around your mouth and like see what I mean? Like, see what I did? Take it under your cheek, cut that cheek, cut it. But yeah, I want to do I want to add prosthetics. I want to do like a different, you know, woodland creatures and orcs and fairies and witches and, you know, stuff like that. And I want to do some gory stuff. Because I know I like to use scar wax and latex and stuff like that. So I just want to like really sit down and play with makeup this year, because I haven't done that in so long. Like, I haven't just sat down and played in my makeup in forever. And that's a problem. We're too serious. Now that we are done with all of the concealing, you don't have to necessarily do this next part, but I know I like to add a little extra something. But you can skip this part and move on to powder, because you don't have to do this in cream. I take the E.L.F, you know, putty bronzer in the shade Sun-Kissed, you know, and I use the brush they provide. And dip that in the eye, and I do like halfway down my cheek, like right here, in like an L kind of shape. Now, if you don't have to do it right in this pocket, you can actually go up a tiny bit and do it here, but I don't like that look. I don't like when my blush be brown, if that makes sense. Yeah. When you're doing cream contouring, you want to blend upwards and not down. That's to give yourself a beard. When you're on the rounder parts of your face, you blend upwards. Well, you blend upwards either way, except for down here. You blend down. Because if you blend up, then you just give yourself a beard. And that's not what you just did all that concealing and contouring for. Chisel. Now we're moving on to powder. And before you go and powder, you want to really blend out them creases under your eyes. They have creased since they've been sitting up under there. So you just want to blend the concealer back into, you know, the creases so as to hide them. And then you would take whatever powder you like to use. I use 330 in the Fit Me powder. Or if I'm on a client, I use my Oliva palette, which I've showed y'all before. If you haven't seen that video, this one's my channel. Go check that out. But yeah, I take my pressed powder. And also, I had somebody ask me what's the difference between pressed powder and loose powder. The only way I can describe it is you would set your concealer in place with pressed powder. So like right now, I'll go up under my eyes like this. Just in my creases is where I like to put it, because I have naturally creasy under eye. I always set my under eye with a pressed powder, and then I go over it with a loose powder, which gives your face that blur while like lightly setting stuff in place. Like I set under my eyes, set all the creases in place so that it won't crease anymore. I'm gonna go back over it with this pressed powder from Mercier. Yeah, and this is the shade Translucent Medium Deep. And then you're gonna take, you're gonna press it into your puff, and then press the axis into the back of your hand, like so. And then you're gonna go up exactly where you put that line at. You're gonna place this right up against it. And then you see what it did though, right? We blurred all of that out, made my skin look flawless, right? So you would take the axis from the axis, tap, tap, tap like that. And when you carve your cheek out at, press it into there just like that. You see that? She eat. That's what I like to do. And I'll show you again on the other side. Make sure you're pressing it into your skin. You're not just laying it on top. You'll get it in there. And there you go. And I know you're like, oh, you didn't set the other spots. Forehead featuring, I use my pressed powder to set my forehead and my chin, because, you know, same principles under the eye. I feel like less texture, more blur. And right now you can be looking pretty ghostly. You can be like, what is happening? I promise the color gonna come back to your cheeks in a few more steps, boo. Don't even worry about it. Freshener. Don't even stress. Before I do my cheek contour, I'm gonna do my nose contour first so that I can show y'all how I do that. Now, I would usually use my little brush that I got from Shein. It's a nose contour brush specifically for this, but I know probably a lot of y'all won't have that, so you can grab something like this, maybe a little smaller. I got a big nose. So right, you're gonna take your bronzer, your contour, your powder. If you skipped and didn't do it when I did my cream contour like I did, you take your powder. Even if you did do it, you take your bronzer or your contour powder and you work it into this little section of your brow. So see what that's doing, right? You're working in here, give yourself a map of where you would like for it to be. And that's also what these lines are here for. So you want to cover up these two light lines, like you want to work over them, like so. Now you can stop here because it looks nice, or you can make it a little harder. Either way you want to do it, this makeup, you play with it and use it how you want to use it. But I like to do like this, just to give my nose more of a smaller shape than it already is. Yep. And that's my nose contour. For my face contour, I like to take something like this. A little fluffier, a little looser, not as dense as this one when I blended out my cream. Take the same bronzer, contour powder, whichever one you like to use, and that right there. I'm gonna just blend. Dip in the pan again if you need to. But make sure you're going upwards when you're on your cheek. And you want to go downward when you're doing your chin. Again, so you don't give yourself a beard. And that eats down on. And I have a thought. I feel like everybody and their mama is trying to be an esthetician in South Carolina because, or I don't even know, probably across the United States, because it is a trend. And that is not why you should be doing or getting into or wasting your money on school for this. Because what do you mean? There are so many people in South Carolina who are estheticians, who are trying to be estheticians. It is so overpopulated in the community, and there's not enough demand for it, which causes issues. You're not gonna find no work out here. Nobody's hiring more estheticians. Nothing, unless you want to wax or work behind the register at the desk of a spa. Don't do it. Don't even waste your time. We need plenty more other things out here. There's a lot more that y'all could be doing out here than being an esthetician, a lash tech, a makeup artist. I'm just saying, like, no judgment, but I'm just saying, like. So we can go back in with our pressed powder. I'm gonna take this big fluff. We're gonna dab, dab, dab like that. And all of the extra. Dust it right off. Blush is going to be the transition to make sure that everything is seamless between your concealer and your contour. Now you can pick whatever color blush you feel like today. Pink, purple, yellow, green, blue. It don't matter. Whatever you like. This is the one I'm using. And they're relatively fluffy brush as such. And I like to dip it in there. Tap off the excess and like airbrush. If that makes sense. Everywhere I put some of that cream blush at, dust it over there. Do that again for y'all. Ain't that pretty? And if you're feeling a little jazzy, you know, cross the nose. And at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and set my face. I like to set my face a total of 3 times, just because I'm extra. And I lied. Actually, I like to take my same bronzer in a brush like this and like go in circles over my eyelid just to give me a bit of color. Look like I got on a little bit of eyeshadow. Not too serious. No technique involved. Just kind of, yeah. Yep. Then after this, I set my face. Now I spray my face.
Drown in it! Drown in it!
Make sure I'm nice and wet. Whew. Then I take 320 or sometimes I do 310, but I don't want it to be too bright today. I take the powder, and I just to give my under eye a little oomph. Brighten up under my eye a little bit more. Nothing too serious. And then I would like to do my highlight around here. Sometimes I like to use a loose gold shimmer. This right here. Sometimes I like to use that. And then I still be using the little, you know, the little highlight palette. What's this? And give it a nice little glow. And at this point in my makeup, you can go back in with a warmer bronzer and bronze your face up some more if you like. This is where I like to keep it. And then I do, you know, some finishing touches, my lips. So I'm gonna do that off camera and I'll be right back. A lot of people have been asking me for my lip combo. This is the lip liner that I use, Believe Beauty, in the shade Enchanted. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, this is how I do my lip combo. A nude matte lipstick. It's not like too it's not like too nude. I don't know, I think you know we get out. Sometimes I'll take a lighter pink like this and use that instead. And then I use this pink gloss. And if I'm feeling real glossy, then I'll put a brown gloss on the outside where I put the lip liner actually. But this is the final look. This is my updated base routine. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell for the next video I post. And I'll see y'all in the next one.
Am I really that much to handle? Breaking these niggas down like a demo. You don't really know you.